All right, welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel, to the XRP community. Appreciate each and every one of you guys, for sticking around and showing tremendous amount of love. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the update. So, as we are seeing the overall market going into the weekend, we are seeing the momentum carrying on, and I'm sure if you follow the channel on a regular day-to-day basis, I have kept my viewers updated as to what's really happening with the broader market, and I'm sure no one's really complaining with this momentum that we're seeing for the broader market. But before we get into it, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So, BlackRock's IBIT has bought over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin this week. So, if you follow, the crypto markets, I'm sure you guys know about a week and a half, you could say pretty much 2 weeks ago, as we did start off the month of October, it did start off on a little bit of a negative note because, of course, as the broader market was being extremely bullish going into October due to, the October and, of course, Q4, generally, historically speaking, in a bull market is a very exciting time. And then, if you did watch my videos as we were closing the month of September, I indicated that, let's not be surprised if we see completely, a fake out happening, so the weekends are shaken out, and that's what we saw happen. And guess what the likes of BlackRock and, these big, hedge funds or asset managers, institutions, guess what these guys were doing? While there was so much uncertainty, they were picking up the bloodbath. And speaks for itself, right? They want the price to get as cheap as possible. I'm sure they're not complaining if the price drops below 50K, which it did a few months back, which again, we indicated on this channel. You're free to go watch my updates around that price point. And I indicated that, we could actually end up seeing a retest down to that price point. We did see that. And do you think the likes of these big corporations are not happy that these prices are coming to life so they can get a cheaper Bitcoin? And that's pretty much what's happening now. The ETFs are coming into play. They want your coins at a cheaper discount, and not all the coins, of course, not all of them. Only a few projects that are revolutionizing the way we deal with finance, bringing blockchain to the masses. And Ripple is one of the companies, in my opinion, that can really take advantage of this massive amounts of interest coming from the broader traditional finance, and even from the entire world. And let's continue to take a look at what's happening. So you could see Steve Wozniak. Bitcoin is limited to how many Bitcoin will ever be produced, unlike real currency, which governments can just create as much more than they ever want to. And who Steve Wozniak is, I'm sure, if you are an Apple fan or even anything to do with tech. You can see Apple co-founder knows you can't just create more Bitcoin, and this is that selling point. People talk about gold, and Bitcoin is called that digital gold. And not just Steve Wozniak, you're seeing big names across the world that weren't the biggest fans of the crypto industry a few years back, or just going full mode on crypto. And that just shows you the switch, the flip event really taking place. Moving forward, this is something very interesting, and I'm sure anyone that holds XRP can relate to this. You can see John Deaton calls out the corruption happening at the U.S. banking committees between Elizabeth Warren and the SEC chairman Gary Gensler. And this video, obviously I'm not going to play it due to copyright issues. You can see, notice how she doesn't answer the question. These are the questions that are being asked by the people that are in the crypto markets, even the people that are in the traditional. And when I say people, I'm talking about retail, the small money. They're trying to ask these valid questions, and specifically with this Ripple and SEC case that's just being dragged on longer than anticipated, way longer than anticipated. And a lot of people want answers, and I think there's a clear image right in front of us as to what's really happening. A lot of people in the community are stating that maybe SEC does not want XRP ETF to be approved due to the fact that they pose a major threat on the current system, the current system that majority of these banks use to send cross-border payments. But there's going to come a time where they will need to steer away from that old way, and we're already starting to see that happening. And I think what would be a huge key moment for Ripple is the RLUSD launch. Because stablecoins are being talked about more than ever, and there's definitely a use for them. And I think once RLUSD launches, which of course what I believe is going to launch when it has that regulatory clarity and the compliance approval, I think that just changes the game and brings more confidence. So let's see what happens. But this is quite interesting to see, and I'm sure everyone in the XRP community can kind of relate on to this. And you can see supply on exchanges hitting an all-time low. ETFs on a buying spree. Something is gonna break, and speaks for itself. Like I showed you guys, $1 billion worth of ETF was bought. And does this chart even come as a surprise? Absolutely not for myself. Moving forward. Shout out to our good old friend Smoke, stating that remember RLUSD is better than USDC. You can see, despite there being multiple stablecoins in the market, USDC is likely to serve as RLUSD's clearest and most direct competitor for payments related application due to its combination of high level of regulatory compliance, prominence in the market, liquidity, and established use cases. However, USDC does differ in one crucial aspect from RLUSD, in that Circle does not offer its own blockchain. By being able to offer both the rails, its XRP blockchain, XRPL blockchain, and the token that can move along those rails, which of course is RLUSD from cross-border payment companies, Ripple is positioned to be able to provide complete solution rather than needing to partner with other providers such as Circle's Ripple partnership to supply MoneyGram. This is that game changer. Remember the tokenization aspect. We're seeing Larry Fink speaking about tokenization, how tokenization is going to be a huge market in the next few years to come. And XRPL blockchain is already pretty much the perfect one-stop shop solution that can just solve everything. You could tokenize your assets there, and I think this just changes the game. And RLUSD is stable coin that you can send as cross-border payments as well, which again is a complete game changer. And this is where I think excitement is really going to come into play, and potentially maybe we hear something about the lawsuit also kind of being impacted due to the RLUSD launch. But let's see. Again, obviously this is just speculation at the end of the day. Moving forward, ISO 222 posted this. The shift in European Union crypto market structure is well underway and already perfectly visible for European Union stablecoins. Driven by the delisting of non-compliant European stablecoins, as well as EURC's supply growth over the last few months since MiCA entered into an application, the market shares of MiCA compliant EUR stablecoins reached an all-time high of 67% of total volume last week. We know that the delisting is taking place, and I think it's only going to get worse. So are we going to see Tether as you see more and more regulatory push towards these exchanges to delist USDT? What's really going to happen with the market? And in my opinion, I think we're already very close to the top of the market, maybe a few months left. Obviously, the super cycle conversation takes place on a day-to-day basis. Obviously, I think we need a little bit more confirmation for that. But what happens if USDT gets delisted off of all these big exchanges? Obviously, it's going to have a major impact. And remember, USDT has a huge market valuation, and I've said this from before. This would put crypto behind. But now at the same time, as stablecoins are being talked about more and more, regulatory clarity is coming in, regulation is coming into crypto. Maybe we do see that initial, if Tether were to collapse, we do see that initial impact. But we do see the market picking up fast, because obviously there are solutions that are already in play. But Let me know down below what you guys think about this. As far as the price is concerned, you are seeing XRP sitting at almost 55 cents, holding better than expected. But of course, we cannot ignore Bitcoin is looking absolutely amazing as well. But that is it for today's update. Love each and every one of you guys. We'll see you tomorrow in Crypto ZX, and peace out.